Hello to everyone who's joining. Good morning / good afternoon, depending on where you are. Thank you for joining us and granting us a couple of minutes so that we would have everyone here. So if you allow us just 2-3 more minutes so that we let people keep coming in. It's lovely to see everyone who's joining, and just as we allow for this time for others to join, if you can start letting us know in the chat where you're connecting from, and maybe a role that you are excited to play currently in the impact ecosystem wherever you are. So I'll start it off, and you'll see that I'm typing. My name's Nadia Stant. I'm from Colombia, but I'm currently in Prague, just for a couple of days, and I am an entrepreneur in impact. So perfect. I'm seeing several names here. Emily from Geneva, Switzerland, welcome. So yeah, let's just start getting to know each other here on the chat, and I'm going to be giving you a couple of spoilers before we actually deep dive into this. Keep an eye out for the chat because we ideally want everyone to leave here with at least one new connection. So it would be great. Hola, Aldo. It would be great to start just seeing everyone connecting. And if you see any very interesting topics or someone who you could have an interesting partnership to expand, if you see the name of a country where you want to join momentarily, this would be amazing for you to start having this this connection here. And just so that you know, Zoom has had some changes a couple of days ago. So make sure in the chat that you have the logo of 3 people connected. That's the chat for everyone. Thank you. I love seeing this diversity of regions right here. So again, just a couple more minutes while we allow more people to connect. Perfect. Thank you. And also just be mindful of keeping your microphones muted while you are not speaking or sharing. We will have moments for questions, and we will want this to be quite interactive. So yes, thank you again for, we always have these house rules when we have a conversation. Perfect. I'm seeing here circular economy, several sustainability topics. Amazing to see more Colombians on here. Bienvenidos, bienvenidas to everyone. And I think, let's see, to the rest of my colleagues, if you can just give me a nod as to we're 6 minutes in. Should we start? Should we go ahead and start sharing? Perfect. And we'll allow anyone who keeps connecting just to keep the chat going. We'll remind them that everyone can leave their name, the country they're connecting from, and maybe any interesting topics that they're particularly focused on. So welcome. And again, thank you for joining and accepting this invitation from probably just a LinkedIn post, a brief conversation with one of us, or seeing some event on Luma and that you had enough interest to join us. So welcome, and we appreciate you being here. So this is the second version of the first launch webinar of the HEC Global Impact Community. And you may wonder what this is, who the people speaking to you about this are, and no rush, we're going to get into that. We definitely wanted to start connecting and getting to know each other here. So if you wish to rename your Zoom profile with your name and last name, that would be ideal so that we can see who's who. Sometimes we have different names from our company, so let's just keep it ideally first name, last name basis on our Zoom profiles. That would be amazing. And we want this to be a conversation. We're very excited to hear your thoughts, your ideas, your tips, any suggestions that you have on how to move forward with the HEC Global Impact Community. So this is definitely going to be a moment where we want to hear you. You're going to be speaking amongst ourselves later on throughout the conversation. So just keep that in mind. If you have any question at any moment, before we reach the question point of this conversation, you can send it on the chat, you can write it down, and we will definitely be going through all of these questions on the chat. So as we start getting to know each other, you've already started to do this on the chat, but we want to know, again, where you're based or where you're connecting from. We know that now it's easy to travel around and it's easier to be in different points. We also want to know which role you play in the impact investment ecosystem. So you can just go ahead and type that alongside the topic. So you're going to see these two columns, column 2 and column 3. So maybe an entrepreneur in agriculture, an entrepreneur in impact investing. That is my topic, for example. So if you can just go ahead and let us know in the chat. Again, we're going to be reading this. We're going to be tracking the chat just so that we know also how to connect. Perfect. I'm seeing a lot of entrepreneurs here. And to going ahead and answering some of the questions that Jessa has answered in the chat as well. We are recording this conversation, so we will share a recording of this so that you can have a replay and you can hear this out whenever you want or wish to. So keep this conversation out in the chat and we'll be moving along. So sorry, I'm going to be muting someone right here, and I don't know, but I'm seeing some red doodles here on my screen where I'm not sure if this is just my computer or not, but we are all here because we are somehow connected to HEC Paris. We're all part of the HEC Paris community. We either went to school there for a master's, an MBA, Grande École, the PhD, a certificate in executive program. Any form of connection to HEC Paris is probably one of the reasons why you're here. Everyone here in this call is definitely a global doer. I loved seeing the variety of profiles we had in the chat. We are all definitely coming from different countries. We're seeing this variety here. So we are all taking action from different parts of the globe, and we are moving towards this. We're all impact driven. If you have accepted the invitation to join this call, it's because you are working in sustainability, in social impact, environmental impact, any form of impact, but you are definitely impact driven in the work that you are doing and what you're putting out there in the world. And we are collaborative. So everyone here definitely believes that the force of collaboration is rather stronger than competition, and always connecting the right individuals, the right people is going to help us bring people together, join forces, and achieve even more impact than we could do individually. So who are we? Before we start getting to know you, you're going to see several probably familiar faces here, maybe very new faces from everyone, but I'm going to start with the last. You're going to see this face, and all of this conversation, again, spoiler alert towards the end, is this could be your photo. This could be your name here alongside this amazing team. So I'm going to allow everyone from all of my colleagues from the team of the HEC Global Impact Community to do a short intro of themselves, and I'll finish out with the members who are not here. So I'm going to pass it on to Jessa, just because that's who I'm seeing right off in my screen.
Thank you, Nadia. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's great to see so many people on the webinar. My name is Jessa Coleman. I am a Grande École and SASI alumni. I am an American working in climate finance, and I live in Niger in West Africa.
And Laurent?
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Laurent Berly. I'm Grande École 1991. I'm an impact entrepreneur. I'm impact investor. I'm part of HEC Entrepreneur Club, and I'm based in Fontainebleau, south of Paris, France. and happy to see you all there and to meet with known faces and new ones, new people. Welcome. Yes.
Hello, my name is Lia Gamisou. I'm an MBA 92. I'm more with Laurent. Laurent Didier was also with us. I'm a very active member of the HEC Entrepreneurship Hub. And in that process, we have leveraged the entrepreneurs that we have earmarked through the HEC Mercure Podcast Worldwide. And we will be talking about that later on. And I'm very interested by education.
And Alexi, I think we can move on to you.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for having me. My name is Alexis. I'm based in New York City. I am an HEC alumni back to 2005. I'm a consultant by day in sustainability transformation, and I am co-leading by night HEC Transition, which is a club within HEC alumni in charge of ecological transformation.
Thank you, Alexi. And I think that's everyone we have on our call today. Bénédicte Tartavignon doesn't really need that much of an introduction. You probably know her as the creator of the SASI Masters. And I'm not sure, just double checking, I'm sure Bénédicte is on. Can someone please confirm if she's on to see if we can? No, perfect. So we probably all know her as the creator of the SASI program, which is the Sustainability and Social Innovation Masters from HEC. She also has an incredible role in the S&O Center, and she is part of the core team really providing this vision from how the school is approaching sustainability in different programs. And we have Bettina as well, who can't join us today, but Bettina graduated from the certificate also created by Bénédicte in social business, and she's been part of this core team for the last couple of months, again bringing together different views and different profiles. And you're probably seeing that my name is Nadia Stand. I mentioned I'm from Colombia. I did the Master's in Sustainability and Social Innovation in 2018, and after that I shifted my career from private equity and venture capital into becoming an entrepreneur myself and supporting several startups, family offices, and government agencies in scaling the impact they are doing in the world. So as you see, we have this diverse group of individuals who are driven by impact. We are impact doers. We are in different parts of the world, and we are the global impact community. We are individuals who realize that it is incredibly powerful to join forces. And we've all probably faced different challenges throughout our careers in impact. And we've had some support from the HEC Paris networks that exist. Alexi mentioned HEC Transition. You've heard of several HEC alumni clubs, and we realized that there was a possibility, there was this opportunity and this path to elevate this to the next global level and to expand this even further to other members of the HEC Paris community. So we are welcoming everyone connected to HEC Paris with speaking English, not necessarily having to be a perfect French speaker. I myself understand the struggle of speaking French, but not feeling super eloquent as to hold a very interesting conversation in France. And sometimes I feel like that would have myself and maybe some other individuals feel left out of certain activities. So here we are collaborating with all of these initiatives and moving forward with an English-based initiative, not based out of, with a global reach, where we are connecting to having access to different individuals who are like-minded. So if you are an entrepreneur and you're seeking for funding, you're seeking for your co-founders, you're probably wondering, where can I meet the right people who are aligned with my perception? If you're an investor and you're looking for an investment pipeline and you want to find the best startups, the best initiatives, the best projects to support, where could you find this? If you want to be a mentor or you're a mentee and you want to find the right mentor, it probably took a lot of digging and looking around to find that. And that's one of the elements that we are trying to solve with, or just feel easier to navigate from the HEC Paris Impact, the HEC Global Impact Community. We're firmly convinced that business can be a force for good, and connecting the right people can definitely amplify each other's impact. And that's what we're going on to be talking about right now. So,
Indeed. Thank you, Nadia. We were wondering what's in it for us and for you in this community since more than 1 year. And we found that today we are going to bring you at least 2 impact contacts, and we hope that will be relevant. And we will share with you the ways to engage in our community. When you are going to join the community, because it sounds like it can bring to most of us individuals that are impact doers and who want to accelerate their impact, you will have access to a global community that we are starting with these 2 webinars. We have had a webinar last week already with lots of people around the world. We will share resources and best impact practices and tips. We wish also to build a matching tool for connecting business and projects, people and projects, founders, co-founders, and so that it will bring you opportunities to have more impact. We will use a tool that is very relevant for most of us, and you may have used co-development groups, and we will share impact groups by category, like entrepreneurs, investors, and we also are looking today for community leaders that are going to rule some regions. We are going to talk about these bio regions we have in mind. And we will, you will, as a community leader, if you wish to be more invested in the network, you will have a stronger connection with the core team. That is the people Nadia just presented to you. You will have an access and a visibility in the HEC School impact ecosystem. We spoke about Benedict, but we have the support from HEC School, namely François Collin. And you will gain more leadership in global impact initiatives. That's let's say, the 3 commitments we have today. I guess this is, I will let Jessa introduce you to our space in the HEC impact ecosystem.
Thank you, Laurent. It's actually back to Nadia real quick, and I will jump in momentarily.
Perfect. So as you heard, several organizations from several clubs, several names from the HEC Paris impact ecosystem. We wanted to show you this so that you realize, where does the HEC Global Impact Community actually fit into? How is it that we are joining forces from all of these different points and translating this into the global forum of impact doers that we've mentioned so far? So you know the school, you know HEC, and we have all of these different programs, different masters. You're going to see later on how everyone fits into this. But everyone who's connected to the school, everyone who's a partner to the school through executive education, corporations, nonprofits that are related to it, people who are still students, not necessarily the alumni, but people who are still students and HEC, and of course, everyone who's part of HEC alumni, specifically the 2 clubs that you see right here, because we have Lies, Alexi, and Laurent who come from these clubs. That is how we are connected to the HEC Paris impact ecosystem as we see it today. And you'll see that the core team, so all of these faces that you're seeing, once again, us that you're seeing here on screen, you see that in this core team, we are reflecting and we're sort of gathering the different views of the different parts of the ecosystem to see how we can move forward with this. And what you'll be seeing from this part on in the presentation is how we feel that you, as an impact doer who believes in collaboration, who is connected to HEC Impact, to HEC Paris and Impact, can help us join alongside this. So go ahead, Laurent.
Yeah, we have in mind to edit first version of our directory of our impact community by beginning of next year, and we will share informations that all of you wish to share. And with this directory, because we all have this difficulty to find people invested in impact all around the world, whenever we travel, whenever we make business. And we want to plug this directory to a matching solution that can bring you projects, finance, co-founders. And as an entrepreneur, I would love to see that tool soon active. We will create co-development groups, and we will use thematics groups and regional groups. We will introduce you to the 8 regions we have in mind. And when we speak about thematic groups, we speak about, let's say, education, food and agriculture. So, I mean, sustainable food and sustainable agriculture. We mean about inclusion, social entrepreneurship, and we can have different thematic depending on you people. All of us can have the initiative of a new group potentially, and we will share resources, let's say tips, toolkits, market trends, and we think about several communication tools for us to join each other by region and globally and by sectors. And we'll have the webinars as a tool also, because as you saw in the chat, and it's so nice to see that we are from many parts of the world, and we have already active LATAM and Africa groups headed by Nadia and Jason. We wish to go further.
Thank you, Laurent.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Laurent. As Laurent just mentioned, we're looking at a number of different chapters, or as we're calling them, bioregions for this community. Our goal here is really to extend this community, this initiative, this HEC Impact Network as globally as possible, and try to reach out and connect those professionals working in impact who have perhaps not felt as plugged in to the HEC community in the past. To that end, we envision this being built very much from the grassroots up, sort of based upon what you, the participants alongside us, see as being sort of the locations in the world or the bioregions where we feel there's a real need for a further network and community within impact and sustainability. So right now, hopefully one day we will have bioregions in North America, in Latin America, Europe, France, Africa, the Middle East, Central and South Asia, East Asia, and the Pacific. You know, we really do have grand global aspirations, but the way this will be built and sort of where we will start from is going to depend on sort of who's on this call today, who's on our webinar launch last week, and whom else reaches out and is interested in helping to launch regional or local bioregions in the coming weeks. So the way that we see this organization being structured, like I said, we expect it to be grassroots driven, as many similar initiatives within the HEC alumni community are today. This is going to be volunteer driven. It's a fee-free network and membership community. We are the global community team, the global core team, those of us who were on the slide at the beginning of the presentation, who are available to provide sort of the underlying infrastructure for bioregional chapters, whether that is branding, guidance on how to go about launching and creating a bioregion. We're able to provide a web presence. And of course, we have that underlying directory database that we are currently developing. But bioregions themselves will be expected to self-administer and will be responsible for their own programming and for determining sort of what their key needs are and what their key initiatives are. So I'm seeing a few questions that have popped up in the chat related to sort of the governance and the structure that I want to address. And then I'll also provide a little bit of a example. So one question that I'm seeing right now, very astute, Laurent Didier, he says, your regional zones are matching those of Mercure, HEC. Does it mean a special link or just an opportunity? Well, it's a bit of both. Liez and Nadia, who are members of our core team, are part of the Mercure committee. And so they are familiar with operating sort of within these regions and recommended that we sort of think about structuring ourselves similarly. But in the same way, it is really an opportunity to mirror existing structures within HEC, but not necessarily an obligation. Like I said, the bioregions that we develop will, at a base level, depend on who's involved in this community. So hopefully one day we can cover all of those. And as Nadia said, she's going to be developing a LATAM community, and I will be developing an Africa community. But we are looking for other individuals to help develop these other communities. A second question I saw was a question around how we are related to HEC Paris Innovation and Entrepreneurship Institute. So one thing I want to point out, and you may sort of see this in the slide, and I invite Laurent or Liez or Alexi to sort of jump in and help respond to this question. But we are at our base an independently driven initiative. We are, all of us who are founding this initiative, related to HEC in some way, but we're sort of hoping to add to the existing initiatives that are underway via the university itself, via the SNO Center, via the certificates and the existing HEC alumni groups like HEC Transition and HEC Entrepreneur. And so we are sort of separate to all of those, but in alignment with them. And I think one thing that we're very proud of within this initiative is that although we are independently run and driven, we have successfully gained the support of all of these initiatives within HEC, and we're working very hard to work in alignment with them. So to that end, we have Alexi from HEC Transition, who has joined us. Laurent sat on the board very prominently at HEC Entrepreneur Club for many, many years. Like I said, Liez and Nadia are from Mercure, and of course, Benedict is working on this initiative with us as well. So we are trying to sort of touch all of the existing initiatives and communities that are underway within the HEC Paris Impact ecosystem to ensure that what we are doing is additive to the efforts that are already underway. I just pause there real quickly before going on and ask my team if they have anything they want to add on that point.
Just
One thing that I would mention, we were talking about the HEC Mercure. Just to give you an idea about the reach of HEC Paris throughout the world in terms of impact entrepreneurs. So we've been running the Mercure internationally for over the last 3 years, and over the 95 or 99 nominees and awardees, we have found about 45 or 50 HEC guys that are in impact entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship for a few of them. So indeed, we have already a very interesting base that we want to leverage and connect, and also have them on board somehow. Not only for being present in various countries, but also being actively part of this initiative.
Okay, thank you for that, Liaz. So then I see another question from Anon. Are you growing one group and then expanding globally, or do you have regional groups to collaborate? So this is a great question, and thank you for asking it so I can clarify a little further. So the way, actually, Nadia, if you can go back to that prior slide one last time, the way we envision is the HEC Global Impact Community at the very base level is going to be an initiative, a networking initiative that is intended to connect anyone who is connected to HEC and works in impact all over the world. So that is the sort of global top level of this initiative, which will be driven primarily via an online database directory, right? That will allow you, the members of this initiative, and the members of that directory, to quickly and efficiently search for sort of your counterparts within the greater HEC community, whether they are alumni of full degree programs or, business partners of the school, or have, co-created some initiative with the school, or alumni of certificates, right? This is a very large community when you start to expand it out. But we want to be able to empower you to quickly sort of find the other people working on the same topics as you and or in the same regions as you, to be able to co-collaborate and co-create whatever it is you're trying to achieve within your career dedicated to impact, right? So that is the global level portion of this initiative. Now, the second level down is where we think about regional, networks and collaboration. And we recognize that there can also be, often is also a value to being able to network and co-create on a more sort of regional level or a more local or community-based level, right? Just depending on however granular you want to get within that level of networking. And so at that level, we expect individual bioregions to determine what are sort of the core problems, challenges, motivations, goals for them that they wish to try to address within their community, based upon whatever their community needs are. So here's where I'll give a very concrete example. I anticipate launching the Africa bioregion. I have already spoken with a handful of other professionals connected to HEC who are active in impact, whatever the precise industry is. We will be connecting as a group to talk through and think about, okay, is this bioregion going to address Africa writ large? Is it going to address, East Africa, West Africa, like that? For me, and in the conversations I've already had, that's sort of one of the key things we want to determine first. But then the second piece is sort of, what is the big pressing question for impact professionals who are working within Africa? wherever they are. And in the conversations I've had so far and in my own experience, I think that sort of the biggest driver and challenge is really about finding funding, right, for initiatives. That is a challenge within the African business community, whether you're impact driven or not. So I anticipate, although it's not yet certain, but I anticipate that the Africa bioregion is going to be heavily focused on networking around and hosting events or facilitating connections related to matching sort of entrepreneurs or business opportunities with various funders, right? Because that at a regional level is sort of what matters to us. Now, that might not be the same motivator or driving factor for impact professionals who are based in India, right? I don't know, or in specifically France, or in the United Kingdom, or wherever it is, right? So again, it comes back to, this is intended to be grassroots driven, and our goal is to give this broader community the tools it needs to sort of fill the few gaps that they are and serve their needs, right? Beyond that, we do expect there to be opportunity, and the Global Impact Community core team, that's us, will help facilitate networking and interactions and sort of, co-creation between the bioregions, if that's necessary or requested. And we also anticipate, via our connections to existing initiatives like the HEC alumni impact initiatives, to also help kind of bridge that connection and sort of help facilitate and share events and happenings that are happening either within a bioregion that are applicable to other parts of the HEC community, or that are happening in other parts of the HEC community and are applicable to the bioregion, right? Like, we will try to bridge that gap and ensure that this sort of share of information and initiative is an ongoing dialogue. So with that, we will move finally to the next slide. Thank you, Nadia. So there's sort of 3 different ways we imagine you all, the participants of this webinar, getting involved in this initiative. And already, we thank you so much for making the time today to join us and to hear from us and to sort of share your perspectives and where you're from and be open to being a part of this network. The 3 levels that we see are joining as a co-founding member, right? So that is someone who, you like what we're saying, you want to see something in your region, you want to be a part of that group, and you raise your hand to join, to sign up, to participate when you're available, to be a member of the directory, right? To be open to talking to your peers. That is a co-founding member. A regional leader is where we're talking about a bioregional leader, right? So these are people who are able to offer a bit more time regularly and who are driven to help create the bioregion where they are located or where their work is located. Like I said, I've had a few people reach out to me already interested in co-creating an Africa chapter. And so one of the things we're going to do at the end of this webinar is we're going to send you all a survey that takes about 2 minutes to fill out. And we're going to ask you, are you interested in being a regional leader or a member or a global advisor? And if you are, for what bioregion? Because then we will make sure to connect you with the other people interested in co-creating that bioregion so that you can get started with that work, right? And then sort of the final level that we offer is being a global advisor. If you don't have the time for a bioregion, if your maybe aspirations or your interests are more strategic and more global, and you have thoughts really at a very, very high strategic level around how we can be developing this initiative over the months and the years, you're welcome to also reach out to us about that. Thank you. So a quick guide, aka expectation setting around those who will be launching a bioregion. I think the first thing you probably want to know, which I've already touched on, is what resources can we provide you to make this as easy on you all, potential bioregion co-founders. We can offer website and email hosting if that's something that you think will facilitate your work. Obviously, you can create LinkedIn groups as well. We will provide a branding guide. And, one example of how we see this, I'm going to get it right this time. Here, this corner of my screen. We have developed a branding guide, and we anticipate sort of here it says HEC Global Impact Community, and we hope to see the HEC Chinese Impact Community, the HEC Northern Europe Impact Community, the HEC North America Impact Community, wherever it is, right? We will provide you that guidance on branding. We will be able to provide feedback as well on an ongoing basis if you need the support, if you need help connecting with other sort of initiatives or people within the HEC community for whatever reason. And we will also, like I said, help sort of coordinate between you and other bioregions and other HEC initiatives as necessary. What we then need you to do, like I already said, is to be the drivers behind the bioregions that you're interested in launching. Determine what that sort of core mission or goals of that bioregion will be. Develop a LinkedIn, develop a newsletter if you think that's helpful, or a website. Again, we're not being prescriptive here. We just want to provide you with the tools that you need. But to build your membership base, right? Networks are only so powerful as the people in the networks. We are doing all of we can to build this network as quickly as possible. And I'm very, very, proud personally of this team to sort of see the success we've had on these first two webinars. And even after the first webinar last week, we already have a lot of people who have signed up to host bioregions. So we hope you will join some of those people from last week. But then there will be some work on your part to find members in the coming months to determine the frequency of your programming, whatever that's going to be. Maybe that it makes sense if everyone's located in a primary city, or if most of your members are located in a given location, maybe it makes sense to have an in-person meetup, once a quarter, but maybe it doesn't, right? I don't expect the Africa chapter to be meeting up in person. We are going to have to find a way to navigate building real relationships online. Right. So each bioregion will have its own sort of goals and challenges. And then again, this is a membership organization. It's a network organization. So programming is really what you would expect for it. Do you find, happy hours and like network speed dating most effective? Do you find presentations on a given topic that, most of your bioregional membership is interested, most impactful? It's up to you. Yes.
Just, I think we're to give some time out to the floor, if I may say so, to the world, have some feedback and maybe a Q&A session. What about the breakout session? Are we doing that, or that's going to be a bit tight in time?
No, I think this was the end of it. So we are rolling into the breakout session right now. The one thing I will say before we jump over is please keep an eye on your emails. They'll send you that 2-minute survey for you to share how you want to be involved. We'll provide you opportunities to subscribe to our email listserv and our LinkedIn page to stay up to date. We will be reaching out over email in the future to let you know when it's time to add your information to the directory. So please, please, please do keep in touch with us online all the ways you can. All right.